for what, like 6 months? And I managed to kill most of the party once. So
Hello and welcome to Totally Normal Gaming, where Janet kills the party every 6 months. Is that about right?
yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a good clip.
So we're due.
I
Yeah.
mean, we could go another couple of months before you killed everyone and still fit in that window. But I'm actually cheering for tonight being the night that you kill everyone. So
Fantastic.
yeah,
Glad to know you're on my side.
I'm always on your side. All right, we're alive, and oh, look at everybody. Glad to see your faces. We were just talking about how Janet hasn't killed everyone in several months, and she's due for a good party wipe.
Wait, what?
Party last time, but I did kill a lot of the party. Like half.
Am I dead?
No, it's when I missed that trap. The fireball trap. And then took no damage from it.
That was my favorite part.
And half of you died.
That's my favorite part was you were like, the best part was like, you walked up and you were like, guys, stop being such fucking idiots. Like, do you think maybe we should check for traps in the Dragon's Lair? Hello? And then you rolled like a 2. And you're like, no, it's fine. And then, and then a fireball killed everyone except for you because you vaulted out of the way. It was 10 out of 10. No notes.
The cleric was still back.
I think I was only mostly dead
Mm.
because I have fire resistance. And so I was down to like 3 hit points.
Yeah, that could be. He's only mostly dead.
Exactly. That's why I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous about this. I only mostly died the last time Jenna rolled a 2.
Yeah. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is, hopefully, I'm going to share this art. Check this out. We got a bunch of new artists in the Discord, and this is one of the newest pieces.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, right? So listen, I think we have, I'm just going to check. I think we have Wavelengths here with us. Yeah. This is yours, correct, Wavelengths? This is your beautiful art? I think Wavelengths is in chat with us. And I believe it is. And here's my question. So I used to collect X-Men comics. And so I would say the person on the left looks like Gambit. And I would say the person on the right, as you're facing the picture, I have no idea who that woman is or why she has angel's wings. Like, why are Warren Worthington's wings stapled on the back of that woman? And why is Remy making out with her, kind of? Who are these people?
Remy's just shaving. It's just a completely normal
Well, that
thing.
could be Rogue.
Yeah, because in the whole history of cinema and media, shaving scenes are totally normal.
Yeah.
They're not erotic at all.
You remember the haircut scene in Phenomenon?
I do. It's weird.
Don't, but I will look it up.
I grew up that day.
Yeah, that was the day you became a man.
Yeah.
Wait, so...
I was like, me and John Travolta, we just have so much in common in this
Are
moment.
the wings considered a superpower?
They're considered a mutation, and the X-Men are mutants. So
doesn't Rogue like borrow mutations?
Rogue has the ability to steal other people's mutations.
So, and weren't they a thing in the comics? Rogue and
yes,
but Rogue has a silver streak in her hair.
He's shaving. Maybe she's
she looks
dying.
more like Kitty Pryde to me.
They're in the bathroom.
She does look a little bit like Kitty Pryde. This could just be that someone that Wavelengths made up. Listen, Wavelengths, if you want to weigh in on this and fill us all in, I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm enjoying speculating.
We need a lore update here.
I just was like, oh, maybe this is a new X-Men character that I don't know. I mean, that clearly looks like Remy, but maybe this is, maybe it's not Warren Worthington the third in the new X-Men. Maybe it's Willa Worthington the third. Just saying. It's
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, that is at very most Willow Worthington II.
Well, actually, at this point in time, I believe that Warren had his wings ripped off by Apocalypse and turned into Archangel. So,
Yeah.
That's true.
you know,
All right, here we go.
Wait, do we have something in the art to put it in time?
No,
to
so hold on.
date it?
Wavelengths has weighed in here. This is an original character. So this
Ah,
is someone that Wavelengths has made up, which I like. All right, so this is like, Remy and Rogue, they have a little thing, but it's dangerous flirtation because you get too close to Rogue and she might, accidentally kill you. So maybe this is justice for Warren. Yeah. Oh, okay,
what I
yeah.
really want to know is the young lady in the picture applying mascara to herself or to Gambit? It looks
yes.
like she's like, hey, when you're done shaving, you could really use a touch up on those eyelashes.
You're probably right. It's very good though. This is very good. It's very
It's
well
very
done.
good.
I really like this touch around the edge here, where the image gets warped by and duplicated by the other part of
Yeah,
reflection here.
by the beveled edges of the mirror.
Yeah, that's really good. I really like that. Well done.
I
Nice.
also like that it looks like the mirror is fogged a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And who
Well,
can
it's a
say from what?
bathroom. No, there's
A
tiles.
shower was had here.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just saying. We don't know. Listen, Wavelengths, if you want to put any information, if you like a website or anything, you want to put it in the chat, feel free to do so, or put it in the Discord if you'd like to do that as well. And while we're talking about that, we have with us Kyle/Owen, who has created. People were asking about this. Kyle has created his own system, and it is
Oh,
called
yeah.
Chrono Rogue. Can you tell us about Chrono Rogue?
Chrono Rogue is a game where you play time traveling pirates, basically.
Hell yeah.
You go through time, you do time heists, you deal with paradoxical situations. There's a lot of powers that manipulate space and time in it, and you have a crazy good time. I'm working on second edition right now, but first edition is available on Drive-Thru RPG.
You know what? I think I have a link to that.
It is a mechanics, it's a crunchy game. So if you're more into light games, it might not be your cup of tea.
I have put the link to that. So I've asked Wavelengths to put a link to their stuff in the Discord, and I'm gonna put this drive-through link in the Discord also. But for now, it's right up there. All right. Also, we have the return of Galadis. Galadis, good to see you. It's been a little while, and we've missed you.
Evening.
Hello.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of what happened last time. Which, if I can put in a little bit here to begin with, the party picked up.
I remember nothing happened last week.
Mm-mm.
Not a goddamn thing.
Mm-mm.
That's not true.
Mm-mm.
You guys destroyed a portal to hell. That's kind of a big deal. You destroyed a
Yeah,
portal
but
to
we
hell.
didn't really want to.
That's unfortunately true. Was that there was a little bit of kicking and screaming around that one. You destroyed a portal to hell, and then you went back to talk to Akgung, and you were like, "Hey, there was a portal to hell in your yard," and Akgung was like, "What the fuck do you mean there was a portal to hell in my yard? That sounds awful." And then he was like, "Okay, well, moving on. I have a way to get the body out." Which body? Does anybody remember her name?
Zadriel.
Zadarel, queen of the Fae.
One of the queens of the Fae Kingdoms. There are 4 Fae Kingdoms, and she was one of the queens. She's a very important woman. And yes, she's dead. And her grandson, Varys, is here and he wants the body. And Ox said that he had a way to get the body out of the building if you would cause a distraction. And then if you would introduce him to Varys so he could speak with Varys. And then you could give the body to Varys. Varys could fuck off back home with the body because right now the Emperor is holding the body and letting his mage, Otho, poke and prod it and do who knows what else. And then you decided you didn't trust Ak, and so you wanted to come up with your own plan, and you went back to the Bard's Cobbler. Zerwin met Andrej. They had a drink. Janna had a conversation with Eartha, who said that Linda, her grandmother, is still sick and she's taking her food, but that you should all definitely go to the best loser parade, which is happening tonight, which is what Ak wanted to use. Just to recap here, Ak wanted you all to go along with the best loser parade. Then when you got to the spot near the house to create a distraction, he offered you either ruffians to sort of fight or minstrels to play a song. You chose minstrels. So now when you get to the intersection, there will be a roving band of musicians there to help you pause the big crowd, create a distraction, allow Ox people to get the body out. Did I cover it? And that's where you left off
I believe you.
That's where you left off was in the Bard's Cobbler. And this is going to be great because I believe the evening begins tonight at the end of an evening or at the beginning of an evening in which you have all started drinking heavily.
Did we rest last game at all?
You all had a short rest, but not a long rest.
Okay.
All right, let's recap. No, the plan. Build the plan, right? Come on. So there's been some. Listen, for our handful of loyal viewers, there's been some waffling in the interim. And it, you know, they haven't been like light, fluffy Belgian waffles. They've been like the hard, frozen, gluten-free toaster waffles that are worse than hardtack. We're talking like the kind of waffling where if you held on to it and jumped into a river, you'd get pulled to the bottom by how heavy and dense these waffles are. Okay, so
Are they good?
Timeline are you living in?
one of the assets
Some
that
kind
we
of
have,
gluten-free hell.
one of the assets that we have is Dirk, who does have telepathy. So Dirk can kind of be on Overwatch, up on one of the rooftops, looking down within 60 feet of as many of us as possible so that he can actually communicate telepathically. But Dirk can kind of be our eye in the sky and, send out directions or updates as needed. We don't need to add more animals to this necessarily. Like Dirk, I could turn you into an owl and you could fly up there and just watch from the rooftops and have a bird's eye view, a literal bird's eye view of the street and the house where Queen Zadarel's body is. All right. We had talked about maybe trying to post up some of us in the sewers. Then we sort of realized that that was probably pretty dumb because there's like 3 levels of sewers, and we're not totally sure that they're actually going to use the sewers to get in or get out with the body. The one constant is that Zerwin is definitely going to be causing problems in that street. Like we know that's going to happen. And then, the question marks are kind of where we put myself, Jana, and other people. And then, do we need to go back to the drawing board and decide if we're going to try to get the body out of the city ourselves or if we want to let Ak Gung do it? with whatever method he's going to do.
I'm always in favor of PCs doing stuff over NPCs.
Awesome. What's the
Plus,
worst
didn't
that
you
could
say you
happen?
didn't trust him?
Huh?
Yeah,
No,
what
just
didn't?
because it's like we're playing the game. You know, the NPCs aren't playing the game. We're playing the game.
You do have a specific job to do, though, in order for this to work. Right? The idea was that Ock's specialty is like getting people in and out of places, and that your specialty was getting drunk and causing distractions, and that between the two of you, you could get this body out away from the guards.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, Ock came to you and was like, I would like to meet Varys, and I need your help causing a distraction.
Zerwin and I can get into a fist fight.
Well, we're gonna fuck up some minstrels. Is what we're gonna do.
We can do that too.
We haven't
Poor
told.
loot players.
We haven't told. I didn't ask for the minstrels. Somebody else.
Music criticism is not what it used to be.
I wanted the brawlers, but we decided on the minstrels. We also haven't told Akgung where Varys is yet, so it's not like Akgung can really like screw us here, at least initially.
He can screw us by never wanting to go to Varys in the first place.
I
He
guess,
can also screw us by asking us to spell his name.
but he didn't have to ask us to create. He could have found anybody in the city to make a distraction.
I think the concern with Akgung is that he was going to hold the body hostage and use that as a lure to then turn in Varys for the reward for the Emperor. So that was our concern with this.
But he doesn't know where this guy is. So once he gets the body out, we say, "Give us the body," and then we'll tell you where Varys is.
Right, or we make sure that the exchange happens outside the city walls.
Yeah.
Or he just puts the word out that he has the body in order to trap Varys.
Yeah, I don't know. Varys doesn't strike me as a dumb guy. I don't think
We do.
he's gonna come
The other
bombing in.
thing that I've been thinking about that we hadn't really talked about is there is an obligation that we follow the rules as much as possible. Because if we get caught breaking the rules, really bad things are going to happen to us.
That's a
The
good point.
the Bard's Cobbler has been slowly gathering more and more people as you've all been discussing this. It's now quite busy, and it seems to be a really it's normally a pretty happy crowd, but tonight seems to be especially festivus. Festivus? What the hell did I just say? It seems.
It's a festivus for the rest
Yeah,
of us.
it seems to be quite jolly this evening. We'll go with that. People are very happy, and there's a lot of drinks being poured. Not not a lot of laughter, a lot of loud talking. Andrej has joined your table. He seems very excited. He has no idea what the hell you're talking about, but when Zerwin and Owen mention punching each other in the face or punching a minstrel, he says, "I'm in!" and then slams his mug down on the table.
All right. Sounds like we're kind of falling back on a let's go with the original Thieves Guild based plan. Because he's not going to try to get us caught and in trouble now. Because Varys doesn't know where to find him. He doesn't know where to find Varys, etc.
Sound like that. And there was some thought of maybe having a cat or small animal watching the body so that it could just sort of follow along as the backup plan. Which I prefer to us all being in the sewers, I guess. Not because it sounds more fun.
We did talk a lot about manholes last time.
We did.
Yeah.
How many manholes did we determine there were?
Well, they were actually all fantasy manholes.
All over the city.
Yeah. There was no experience of actually entering any manholes, only the desire.
No, there was a desire though.
There was a desire. It was there.
Strong desire.
Yep. That's
to enter
correct.
some manholes.
That's correct. Yes.
Ezra was determined.
Night is young. I would like everyone to make a perception roll, please.
21.
Natural 1.
Dirty 20.
21.
25.
10.
I can ruin everything. Just put me in, coach.
It's gonna be pretty good. So the thing that you've noticed is that everyone has noticed this except for Owen. There are like groups forming in the Bard's Cobbler. Like people are sort of congregating in ways that they don't seem to normally. There's less like mingling between and like an open crowd, and more like everyone's sort of congealing in these little groups. You also are starting to see like a lot of the local personalities. Vicken is there. If you guys remember Vicken in Swadia, Vicken's the wealthiest man in the Empire. Very handsome dragonborn with his new girlfriend. You also see Bundo and Brano. Fly is there. Mungrin is there with Grob. Mungrin's the gnome tinkerer. So basically, you just notice that like a lot of people are here, and people are sort of gathering in little groups, and there seems to be some sort of like unspoken agreement that you're not in on. Yay, Pastor and Bjorn Soup, welcome. Owen, you've noticed that everyone seems to be ignoring your group of friends, like pointedly ignoring you all in a strange passive-aggressive way, and you're not sure why everyone's being so rude.
Why is everyone ignoring us? What did we do? I thought we were rather likable.
I mean, I am.
You are.
It's
I mean,
hard.
obviously.
It's hard being around you guys. Everybody just congeals into these small groups and doesn't.
Yes, but they're
mingle.
ignoring us. Have you noticed how they're ignoring us? Like they're trying to pretend like we're not here.
Because everyone just needs to get drunk. That's how we become likable.
We are.
It's a good call. Is there any butter lying around?
Joke's on you. I've been drunk.
Listen, we're in the middle of a crowded bar, loudly talking about how we're gonna start a fight. It would make sense that people might be avoiding us.
Yes. Yes, we should talk in lower tones about our plans then.
I am not good at talking in low tones.
I
figured out why we're being ignored.
Yes.
I continue to like the idea of having Dirk kind of on Overwatch to communicate if things are getting good or bad, but if we just, if we don't want to do that.
No, that's good. I can go up there and I can do detect thoughts if I can see them.
Dirk, I can throw you to roof.
I can just climb. Thank you, though. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I can do detect thoughts if I can see anybody, and then I can telepathically tell anybody around me if I.
And we're going to be breaking lutes and violins at the time.
Well, there's going to be the minstrels are going to be creating their own distraction, and then if we want to do the same, we can. Either by punching each other, punching the minstrels.
I think
I like the punching.
The Zerwin should take the role of lead singer for the minstrels and sing bawdy songs about dwarven mishaps that are offensive to the sensibilities of everybody in town in such a way that creates a hubbub.
Zerwin, I bet I could throw Dirk farther than you could throw Ezra.
Bet.
You are weak little purple-haired dwarf man. Oh, you're muted, by the way, Zerwin.
There's no chance you could throw Dirk further than I could throw.
Oh, I bet I could. We will have keg throwing contest. You can use little baby dwarf keg. I will use full-size man keg. We will see who throws one farther.
I'm in.
Wait, I wanted to fly.
Let's go. Come on. He
I'm
grabs
very
Zerwin by the shoulder.
aerodynamic.
He walks over towards the keg room, and he pulls out a rather substantial amount of coin from like a hit like loose in his pockets, and he turns around and he points at Geldis and says, "You'll have some of this by the end of the night, I bet, right? It's in my pockets now. It'll be in yours later."
Only if it wants to be.
And then he basically says he wants to buy 2 kegs. And there's some eventually Veilthorn comes down and he's like, "Look, you can't just buy a keg. Like that makes you my competitor, and I'm not going to sell you one." And they kind of go back and forth for a while, and finally Andres is like, "I just want to throw them." And Veil's like, "Oh yeah, well you could just rent a keg then. I'll let you know. You give me a deposit. If it smashes, you pay for the beer. If not, you give it back when you're done." And so they manage to pull out like a full size keg and a half a keg, and they roll them out into the street. The amount of time that it's taken Andrej to negotiate with Veilthorn has gathered like a lot of attention, and now people are funneling out into the street to watch the keg tossing contest.
All right.
Guess we don't need minstrels.
Well, you're not in the right spot for the distraction right now is the problem.
It's also a little early still, right?
It's
Or
also-
did we spend so much time planning that we missed it?
No, it's only like 10 o'clock. We still got a couple hours.
Right. Yeah, we got a couple hours.
We're very serious adventurers.
You've noticed that's somebody you think it might be Bundo is going around collecting bets on who's going to win this keg toss. Bundo always looking to make a spare coin off of hapless adventurers. Andrej turns to you and Zerwin and says, "Would you like me to go first, or will you be embarrassed?"
No, go for it. I need a drink anyway.
Yeah, okay. I better roll for him. Oh my god. Okay. Well, this is what am I even gonna do here? Andrej, he pulls out, he's like, "Ah, yes, we should drink first, you are right." And he pulls out his little hip flask. And he's like, "I have saved just this little much for a special occasion." And he unscrews the cap, and the smell of fermented yak's milk mixed with licorice hits you in the face like a pungent wave of something that has died in a bottle. And he grins like sheepishly and is like, "Oh," and he like dumps a whole bunch of it down his throat. Then he offers you a little bit, Zerwin.
I take some.
Okay. And then he takes it back and he throws the last bit down, puts the thing in his pocket, walks over to the keg, grasps it around the like one hand on one end like a giant trash can, turns his back, heaves a mighty heave, like a big, like a, you know what it looks kind of like? It looks kind of like someone who's gearing up to put the shot, right? To do the shot put. And they're like, he's doing the warm up. And then he turns and spins. He's got amazing. This is someone who has done this before. He has hustled you. He has practiced his keg throwing for possibly years and knew that this would be his opportunity to get you outside and embarrass you in front of everyone. And he has perfect form as he pirouettes in a circle and launches this thing in the air, except as he throws it, his belt buckle catches the end of it, and it launches his hips forward with all the momentum of his entire body, and he sort of like pelvic thrusts himself into the air and lands directly on his back. The force of which the friction from the belt then causes the barrel to go almost straight up in the air and then land directly on top of him with like a terrible like squishing thudding sound and a very like groan as his natural one comes into full botch
Jesus.
effect play, and the crowd goes wild. They think it is the best thing they've ever seen. For a minute, everyone forgets that there's someone else that's supposed to throw a keg because there is just uproarious laughter, and people run over to the keg that's on top of him, and you think for a minute, oh, they're going to help him out. They tap it and pour a beer while he's still under it, and then the first one goes to him as he's lying on the ground, which he then kind of like weakly cheers and it's like, I cannot drink until keg is off me.
I go help push the keg off him or lift the keg off him.
Thank you, friend. I have made a fool of myself and I am embarrassed.
That's all right. If people seem to like it.
That is true. I thought I was going to win, but now you must only throw it. He looks at where the keg landed, like maybe 10 feet in front. Very well. Get this over with, Throwin. Are you going to make me an athletics roll?
Oh boy. I thought that was a nat 1, but it was a 7. It looked like a 1. So a 14.
Oh, that would have been so good. All right. You want to describe how you do this?
Yeah, I go. I line up, sort of like the. So I have it on the ground in front of me. I lift it up, and then I take a couple. I assume there's like a line or something where we're starting. So I'm probably 10 feet behind the line. I lift it up above my head. I take 2 steps. I put it on the ground and kind of do a front handspring over it, and then launch it as far as I can.
Well,
Uh,
like a
and
soccer
land,
ball?
yeah, and then land flat on my face because it's just so much momentum that I can't do anything. But then, I look up immediately to see where it goes because I have no idea how far it went.
It went pretty far. It was a good, 14's not a terrible roll. Not your best attempt. He definitely would have beat you if he hadn't rolled a natural one. But you win this round. There is a lot of cheering, and then someone else steps up and says, "I challenge Andres to keg throwing contest," and there is a roar of approval. And then it just turns into absolute keg throwing mayhem. It's like one person after another, and there's actually a rather drunk gnome who challenges Ezra to a keg toss.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
He says, I could fall and break my arm is the worst thing that could happen. Let's fucking do it.
All right, I'm going first.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yeah. Okay. He rolled interestingly.
14.
Oh. You throw yours and it like lands and like skids like a couple of inches because it lands like on its end. It's like a pretty great throw. And then he throws his and it lands just in front of it and like nudges the one that you played. So you win your contest. And he says, I'm buying you a drink.
Yeah, you are.
There's a lot of good spirits happening here. The time is really flying. I should ask if anybody wants to do anything during all of this, or if you're all pretty content to throw kegs.
I mean, I'll put together some side bets.
Good, very good. Why don't you roll me? Why don't you make me some sort of intelligence check to see if your bookmaking makes any money? Go ahead, Jana.
Jana's not drinking that much. She's just kind of going with it, but she's not actually drinking.
Owen's also not drinking.
I rolled a 1,
A natural one.
a natural 1.
Okay. Dirk loses 100 gold of his own money as a bookkeeper during the betting sequence, which, hi Joe, which is really challenging to do.
Honestly, worth it.
Yeah, I mean, people remember you. They're like, you're the best bookkeeper ever. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. So basically, the keg throwing goes on for a while, and then like this, you notice again that the people are starting to group up into small groups, and then seemingly out of nowhere, like things start to get real quiet, and like it's sort of like this communal like hush falls over the crowd. And then, do you remember Flinius, the guest chef? Um, they like he sort of like they stack the two kegs, the smaller one on top of the bigger one, and then they put this other box next to it. And Fly steps up on the keg, so now he's like 8 feet off the ground, and he stands up, and there's like a big cheer, and everyone's like, yes, yes. There's and then it gets quiet, and there's like this electricity, this current of expectation that sort of like runs through the crowd, and everyone turns and looks. And you've noticed now there's probably 600 to 700 people that have gathered out here while you guys have been tossing kegs and drinking and having a good time. And they all look at Fly, and Fly stands up, and he looks out amongst the crowd, and he nods his head and smiles and says, I believe that it's time. Are you all ready? And everyone's like, yeah! Everyone's like, there's an excited affirmative response. And then Fly breaks out into song. And his like baritone has like a really kind of pleasing, tone and timbre to it. And everyone seems to know the song, and they all sing along with him. And it goes like this. Who's the best loser this year? The one who lost but should have won? The one for whom we all will cheer? Let's give them a lift and a crown. And then everyone starts singing these verses. The verses are different than the intro. They're repeated, right? So the first one is, oh, they can't be the best because they got their asses kicked. Oh, they can't be the best because they got their asses kicked. Oh, they can't be the best because they got their asses kicked, but they can be the best loser. And every time like the verse comes around, everyone chants and sings together, and the crowd starts moving.
Oh, they can't be the best because they got their asses kicked, but they can be the best. They can't be the best because
Yeah.
they got their asses kicked.
They're all pretty raucous, these verses. One of them is oh, they don't know a scabbard from their own puckered asshole, but they can find their ass on the ground. Their mother doesn't love them, but their opponents always do. They went to turn and run, but they found they'd shit their pants. It's all like these kind of like bad body insults to the person who's being cheered, who is the best loser. But also like everyone is just so happy to sing these songs. And the parade has begun in earnest, with everyone just sort of like arm around each other's shoulders and like walking down. The kegs are put on a cart, and the two kegs you were just tossing are put on a cart, and the cart is slowly pulled, and people are filling up drinks as they're walking, and people start coming out of their houses. And down the side streets, you see 5 people here and 6 people here are slowly joining this parade, and the sound everyone's singing is building together, and the verses are getting kind of like rowdier and rowdier, and more laughter is happening. And then, for some reason you can't ascertain, there's a pause, and everyone turns and looks kind of expectantly, and then Fly stands up on the wagon and says, "I nominate Owen Barclay as this year's best loser." And there's a cheer, and then the parade starts again. And this happens every so often. They'll do 3 or 4 verses, then they'll stop, and someone will get up and nominate a best loser. And depending on the amount of cheers that they get, it's either considered like accepted, or people are like, "Nah, that's not a best loser," and they move on. And that's how the parade goes. If you guys look in Owlbear Rodeo, Zerwin, if you don't mind bringing it up for me on the stream. The Bard's Cobbler is here. And you guys parade down here. Oh, I'll wait, actually, so everybody can see it. Right, so the Bard's Cobbler is here, right? The parade starts, it goes down here, goes all the way down to this main street. And then it turns and starts heading down here. The whole time, it's the same thing. 3 or 4 verses of a body song, stop, and a nomination. And then it keeps going. By the time, so just to give you a refresher, this is the place where you're supposed to have the encounter, right? The distraction. By the time you get to about here, there's been 3 nominees that seem to have been accepted, quote unquote accepted. One of them is named Vel. One of them is named Cybus, and then there's Owen. All the other ones seem to have been rejected.
What's the expectation as a loser?
If you win best loser, the expectation is that you pledge to come back and compete next year again, or 4 years from now in the tournament.
How do you become a greater loser than the others?
It's just vote. It's basically the crowd being like, "This was our favorite person who didn't win, and we want to see them compete again the next time there's a competition." It's the good-natured ribbing is kind of part of the charm of it.
Okay. Can I do a performance check to add some verses in about my own many failures?
Absolutely. Yeah.
A 7.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, you've been enough of a failure here. You don't get as many laughs as you were hoping for." Let's move everyone down to about here. Now, you guys are sort of towards the front. So I don't know how, you've had sort of all this time to get down there. So now you're just kind of here at the spot where you're supposed to be, and right ahead of you, you see. Wow, Ezra, that was aggressive.
It was an accident. I was trying to move myself, but I'm so tiny.
Right ahead of you, you see an intersection, and at that intersection, let me mark off where the intersection is. The intersection is right here. And at that intersection, you see a group of musicians. There's a group of minstrels waiting, just as Ock promised.
What kind of instruments do they got?
Pretty standard stuff. There's a guy with a couple of drums, different sized drums. There's a flute. There's a lute. There's it looks like a fiddle, probably, although you're no expert. Might be a viola. And there's a lyre.
No brass, huh?
No horns.
Well, let me tell you, Mark O'Neill is not happy about that.
Okay. So as the crowd approaches, the musicians step out, and all of a sudden, the same song that you guys have been singing this whole time now has musical accompaniment. This delights the crowd. There is a pause, and everyone starts kind of dancing around and cheering. It's a little, you know, you know how a bunch of drunk people can get, especially when you realize now that there's probably close to 1,500 people here. Um, the crowd has more than doubled in size since you've left the Bard's Cobbler.
Uh,
Go ahead.
so I will. I'm gonna walk up like as I'm kind of dance walking towards the musicians. So are they just standing there, or are they like walking in a direction?
No, they kind of like came. You saw them ahead of time where they were, but then they like stepped
Yeah.
out in the way of the parade to like kind of
Uh-huh.
stop it. And at first it was kind of like a whoa, and then they all started playing their instruments. Everyone's like, yeah! Now everyone's like singing along and dancing.
All right. So I dance and I walk up to, or I kind of dance up towards the guy with the drums, and then I trip and fall, uh, just directly into him.
Make me an
So
athletics check.
he has to like drop his sticks and catch me, almost.
Okay. Let's see your athletics roll.
12.
A 12?
Yeah.
You definitely trip and fall. He doesn't really drop his sticks so much as you just sort of like slam. He didn't see you in time, so you sort of like slam into his elbow, and then he like kind of like gets like shoved sideways, and then he bumps into the lute player, who like turns and like gives him a dirty look, and there's like some kerfuffle.
Where am I in relation to the guy holding the drums now?
Basically lying against his shin.
All right. I'm going to now stand up and try to ram my head through one of the drums all the way up, like through the drum. So I'm looking at him through the drum. What do you want from that?
I want an attack roll from that.
Do you want an attack roll?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A 20.
It goes exactly how you wanted it to go. You
does he-
spring up and your head goes through the drums, like through the drum that he was holding, and it's like it is now a necklace. It's more like a collar, actually. It's not a collar. You have a drum collar.
Did he catch me with the sticks at all?
Oh no, he totally rapped you in the face a couple times before. He was like, "Oh God," and like dropped the drum thing, and like took like an involuntary step back.
Okay.
There's some laughter from the crowd about all this.
All right.
Remember, you need to give Akgung's people enough time. He said 20 minutes or more.
But we need to, whatever we do needs to be big enough to distract the guards inside the house.
Well, just the pooling of 1,500 people is going to start to draw attention. So if you can keep them held up.
We need to stop 1,500 people for 15 to 20 minutes.
Should we get on a roof?
Would you like to?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Make me an athletics roll to climb up on a roof. And which one do you want to climb up on?
I'm gonna surreptitiously help, so take the
Yeah.
help action.
The closest to across the road from the building.
So if you look at Owlbear Rodeo,
Dirty 20.
so this is the building where the body was here. And if you want to try to climb up on one of these two roofs, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. It has been done with a dirty 20. You're still muted, Zerwin.
Is there something I can stand on? Are there like, is there a wagon or something I could jump up on so people will notice me?
You can get back to the wagon if you want, but then you're going to leave the front where the minstrels are. The wagon's kind of in the middle. Where you are now, there is some boxes. There's like 2 crates stacked up against the wall of the buildings across the street.
All right, so I jump up on those and I yell as loud as I can. I'll pay 200 gold to anybody who could try to rip this thing off my head, but I'm going to fight you because I'm going to keep it. This is now my necklace.
200 gold.
Yeah.
Prepare to be mobbed.
Well, hold on. So I want to say, one at a time. I will continue to fight until.
Yeah, that's no. By the way, you said 200 gold, and that's like there was a pause of maybe 10 seconds, and then about 10 people jumped you all at the same time.
All right. So what do you want me to do?
Well,
What do you want you to do?
Grappling, I think, is what's happening right now. It's kind of a messy. So the only good news is they can't all they're getting in each other's way as they try to basically break your neck with this wooden drum.
I'm trying to think. Can I use? Yeah, I guess it'd either be grappling or like it'd be like dexterity saving throws if I'm trying to dodge them. I'll do whatever you want.
You're up on top of these boxes, I guess.
Well, I'll jump down first.
You'll jump down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you want to make me an acrobatics roll to see if you're going to evade any of them? I mean, you're not going to be able to evade all of them.
Yeah, I'll try to evade some of them.
Anyway, a scrum starts.
So I rolled a 12 acrobatics.
This is turning into a real rugby match.
Can I cast a spell?
I don't see why not.
I cast Sanctuary on him.
Okay. All right. So that's the saving throw modifier, correct?
They have to make a Wisdom save DC 16, or they can't attack him.
Oh, all of them do?
Anyone attempting to attack him.
Oh my god.
All right. So can I hear when that happens, can I like feel it? Do I know I have this cast on me?
I don't think so. But as soon as Owen casts that spell, 8 of them turn and like take a couple steps back, and then now you're just fighting 2 people.
Okay.
But they seem to have different strategies.
If you attack anyone, the spell ends. So
then I will do a. Can I do?
You can take the dodge action, which will give you +4 AC.
Yeah, I guess.
You're not attacking. You're just, defending.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do.
The other minstrels continue to play, and the drummer did have 2 drums. They've changed the tune now. It no longer suits the parade song. It's now seems to be some sort of like high-tempoed suspense music. It's a video game music, basically.
Sorry, they have disadvantage on their attacks. That's what the dodge action does now.
The two people trying to wring your neck right now are having different strategies. One of them is kind of a big oafish dude, and he's trying to put his foot on your chest and like rip the thing off the top of your head. And the other one's a woman that's like maybe in her 20s, and she has found the butter in your pocket, and she's now applying it to the side of your head, trying to slide the thing off the top of your head. And she keeps yelling at the oaf, who's actually attacking you, to be like, knock it off. I can slide this thing off if you just quit. And he can't even process. He's way too drunk. He's like, gonna get this thing off and rip his head off, one or the other. God damn it.
What's the ground surface like? Is it dirt? Is it cobble?
They're paved streets.
Is there any moisture on the surface at the moment?
Some spilled beer. The tears of a drummer.
Around
moist.
Zerwin?
Butter's moist.
Yeah, there's definitely spilled beer around Zerwin.
Ezra is gonna cast Shape Water. If it's beer, you probably won't let me count that, huh? Does beer count as water?
Beer is mostly water.
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
I'm gonna
Nick Ultra?
I'm gonna freeze it in a circle around him, so if anybody tries to approach him, they're gonna slip.
Zerwin also is going to slip.
Well,
They all
Not with someone buttering him up.
Wait, am I laying on the ground, or does like somebody?
Well, you weren't, but then all of a sudden there's like ice underneath you, and then the giant man who's trying to pull your head off like slips and falls backward. His momentum means he pulls you right on top of him, which then means the young woman who was trying to butter up your ears also gets caught up in it. And so now there is, a giant oafish drunk man who's like holding on to a wooden collar that's wrapped around your neck, like grunting, get off me! And then there's a purple-haired dwarf on top, and then there's a young woman who now has butter all over her hands, and it's just like, fuck it. And it's just trying to get it all over your hair.
Can I Can I try to tickle the oaf?
Can you try to tickle him?
Are we not saying phrasing somehow?
Yeah, can I try to tickle him?
I'm going to count that
Can
as an
I
attack.
try to tickle the oaf?
All right, yeah.
You need an attack roll for that one.
Okay. You want
Okay,
to?
the spell ends.
Oh, yeah. Now the scrum begins again. You know what? I'm going
I
to
don't
roll.
want to attack him. I want to tickle him.
Yep, that's an aggressive move, buddy.
All right.
I'm going to roll a D100 here because I have an idea about something.
I rolled a 14. Is he giggling?
Oh, my lord. A 14?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you definitely tickle him. He's like, hey, stop that. Okay. So, oh shit, I accidentally turned myself off. All right, so here's what happens. All right. When the spell
It's not that
ends,
kind of game, Bill.
when the spell ends, everyone
Not yet, it ain't.
everyone jumps back in, and like
Somebody tickle the oaf.
someone tickled the elf, who now is like, oh, and then when the sheer pandemonium of the other like 8 people launching themselves back into the scrum means that one of them like lands on your legs, and then another one hits the woman, and her hands like slide up like this, and the drum collar shoots off the top of your head at an alarmingly fast velocity, and it just like shoots into the crowd and starts rolling into the crowd, and people start chasing it down because it's worth 200 gold.
I'm gonna go try to grab it.
Okay, make me an athletics check. This is gonna be great.
11.
It didn't check Ellis's pockets.
It rolled right into his pockets. Anybody else gonna try to grab it? Durkin, you should make me a perception roll, please. Okay. Oh wow! Look who came up with it. With a 19.
28.
28?
Yep.
Okay, you see that there are figures in Azadarel's room.
Can I see them in a way that I can cast detect thoughts on them?
The curtains are closed, but you can see the shadows underneath the curtain. Like there's a very faint light coming from somewhere else either in the room or the hallway, and you see
Are
people
they
going to the
within
room.
30 feet of me?
I mean, if you can move.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't
so
have
it's
line of sight though. Do you need line of sight?
No, it's just creatures within 30 feet of me. So when I see a shadow, using my best discernment to see if the shadow has gun qualities. But
It does not have outgun qualities.
Yeah, he's not gonna be here. He's gonna send cronies to do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts on that certain creature.
Roll me another d20. Just tell me what it is. I have to figure out there's 2, so question is, which do you get?
17.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna give you their sort of inner monologue.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Oh God, she's heavier than I thought she was. Good thing they called me. Up. Here we go. Okay. Was it done? Did you do it? How do I know when she does it? Did she do it? Did she do the thing? She did. She's telling me to go. She's telling me, all right, I'm gonna go. Okay, here we go. Those are the thoughts.
I'm gonna probe deeper, and it has to cast a Wisdom save. And I'm gonna see if it has. I'm learning about its emotional state. Doesn't seem like a mystery to me, but its reasoning, and if there's something that looms large in its mind.
Emotional state is, I don't know. Maybe a little anxious, but confident and yeah, feeling pretty good about what he's doing.
Okay.
What was it? What were the other 2?
If there's something that looms large in their mind.
I hope I get a bonus for this job. I'm doing really well. Maybe Ak will give me a bonus. That's about this guy's mind isn't super large to begin with.
Hold on. Feel like I can. No, I already probed deeper, so I can't shift to a different creature. Okay, that's what I learned.
So,
So real quick, when I've done that, I'm going to beam to. Is Ezra within eyesight of me?
I should be. I'm down there just in the mob.
If there's someone who is not sort of overwhelmed by mobness in my party, a member of the Spicy Oranges.
I would say I'm sort of on the exterior of the mob.
Okay, then I will say to Ezra, I'm not picking up on any weird motivations or plans from the minds of these people right now. Telepathically.
Yeah. Ezra nods and casts invisibility on himself.
okay.
I will roll the Veiled magic as well, as long as you want me to. Do you
I
want me
do
to?
indeed.
14.
You feel
It was a D20, correct?
Yes. You feel a strange pull when you cast the spell. An itch almost, a chime, an odor. You're not quite
Brave
sure.
Dionys cat.
Yeah. It's something distant. And you're not sure exactly how it's affected what you've done, but the spell does seem to have worked.
And I don't know where, like, what direction or anything like that.
It's directionless.
Okay. Ezra will then, as soon as he's invisible, he's gonna move toward the house.
Okay.
Do I see guards there?
Yeah, so what's happened is the guards here. Let me go on Owlbear Rodeo. Keeping in mind that the Emperor is down here. Oh, your Owlbear isn't updating. Zerwin. Keep in mind the Emperor is down here.
Yeah, I
Then
see that.
all of the guards who are stationed in, like, all of this is all blocked off, right? This whole triangle area is all blocked off. All the guards who are here and the guards who are stationed at this door, they've all come out and formed like a line across here to sort of like, there's probably 40 or 50 guards who have formed like a, a cordoned off area basically to keep the people out.
Is there
There's some
space that
grumpy
I can like get
faces.
between them?
Yeah, so long as you don't fuck it up and fall in their lap. Make me a dexterity check.
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a sorcery point to re-roll it. Because it was low, it was a 7. Yeah, that's better. That's a 20, dirty 20.
You're fine.
And once I'm past, can I get to is the door closed? Is there a guard at the door?
There is no guard at the door, but it is closed.
Okay. I'm gonna. What about windows?
Lots of them.
Any windows that are open?
No. You do see people inside.
Ooh. What kind of people?
Most of the curtains are drawn.
Opening a door wouldn't break my invisibility, right?
I don't know, would it?
Let's double check.
In the middle of the crowd, a hand reaches down and snatches the rolling drum circle off the ground and holds it aloft. It's Skip. He smiles, that winning Skip smile. Looks like you owe me 200 gold, Zerwin. He takes the drum, what's left of the drum thing, and slides it up his arm until it like rests over his shoulder. Then he pours a drink and holds it aloft for everybody. Who's the best loser this year? He says, and the cheering goes up, and the crowd starts shuffling again, and the parade starts to move a little bit. Ezra?
I'm gonna open the door. It only breaks if I cast a spell or attack.
Okay.
I pay Skip 200 gold. I slipped into his hand, by the way.
Okay.
How long has it been? Where are we time-wise?
10 minutes. You need a few more minutes. Ezra, the first thing you see is a what is going on? Is a gnomish woman. She's probably some sort of servant. She's walking down the stairs from upstairs and walking towards the kitchen. There's voices from inside the kitchen as well.
What do they sound like? Do they sound
We sound like
heightened?
no, sound like people talking.
Okay.
They sound conversational.
Okay. I am once the gnome goes past, I'm gonna move up the stairs toward Lady Azad or Queen Azadirel's room.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be anyone upstairs.
And is the body gone?
You want her door's closed. You want to open the door?
Yeah.
Yep, body's gone.
Okay. I'll go downstairs and listen in on the voices, get close enough to hear the voices. Keep closing the
Jesus,
door
what's
behind me.
taking them so long? They should be moved on by now. Oh, there seems to be some sort of hold up there. Can't tell what it is. Oh, there they go. They're moving now.
Peeking around the corner, is it guards?
Yes.
Okay.
They're sitting in the kitchen,
Uh,
sort of looking out one of the windows.
yeah, I'm gonna vacate the premises and rejoin the mob.
Anyone else? The parade starts moving again. Okay. They as the shuffle starts, I'm gonna make a roll to see if that was cutting it a little close. Ezra, as you're leaving, you hear one of the guards say, "What the fuck was that noise? Did you hear that?"
At this point, I'm still moving back to the door.
Yeah, you're basically at the front door, but you haven't made any noise. Yeah, I heard it too. Sounded like it was coming from downstairs, maybe. Someone trying to sneak into the fucking basement. God damn it.
I'm gonna go back to the kitchen.
They burst through the kitchen door and head towards the basement door.
They're okay. Ezra is gonna. Okay. I'm gonna make a bunch of noise. So I'm not attacking per se, and I'm not casting a spell, but I'm guessing that there's like chairs, plates, glasses, a candelabra, something that I could like make a bunch of noise with,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna like leave and slam the door to try to get them to come back up here.
Okay. Um,
Do you want me to roll like performance or anything like that?
no. Um, I need to make an intelligence check here. One of them shouts, "Invisibility! Invisibility!" just as you exit the door and slam the door behind you. Guards start running, basically, in lots of different directions.
Cool. I'll rejoin the group.
Okay. Just as you rejoin the group, Otho steps out and you see him cast some sort of spell. Do you drop your invisibility when you get back to the group?
Yeah, once I sort of like melt into the crowd, I will drop the invisibility.
Okay. Razor
Where
thin
was he
margins.
hiding? That rat bastard.
Would have got away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and that rotten dog of yours.
Yep. Another classic Ezra mess around.
Okay, by the time you get to the Hippodrome, there are 2,000 people in this crowd. Maybe more. Everyone is laughing and singing and drunk. Inside the Hippodrome itself, there seems to be some sort of makeshift stage having been constructed, and standing on it, it's really sort of a haphazard thing. Standing on it is Alvinius and Glocta. Skip catches up with you, and he sort of falls in and joins in on the songs. He looks exhausted. Alvinius and Glocta are up on this stage, and the crowd sort of pools around it. Alvinius stands and addresses the gathering people once they've all sort of filled in 360 degrees around the stage. Even 2,000 people in this hippodrome, there's plenty of room down here. It is a big stadium. But their people are sort of spread out, and they all look up at him. Is it time, friends, Alvinius says, to crown our best loser? And the crowd just goes wild. Send forth, then, your nominees, he says. Who do we have? So, the first nominee is this woman. This is Cywus Norfear. She lost in the first round of the archery. Sorry, she lost in the first round of the archery when she shot one of her opponent's arrows out of the sky, and one of the splinters of that arrow wound up in her eye. Just like a complete freak accident. She's a little tipsy. She's smiling kind of half drunkenly. She's a half elf. And she is kind of like, oh, I don't even deserve to be up here. You guys are the best. And she's kind of like sheepishly happy to be there. Then you have this feller. This is Vel Tetricus.
Nice
Guy
death
with shield.
nails.
Sorry.
Ooh, double flail. Wow.
He is of the Empire. And he does not look amused by any of this. Nor does he look drunk. In fact, he looks rather unhappy. As he's brought up on the stage, he doesn't quite say anything, but you can hear his internal grumble as he like, I shouldn't have fucking lost. Oh, and you remember watching him, he lost in the melee in the second round. And he fought not the woman that beat you, but another woman. And basically, she landed this incredible shot and smashed his weapon. And he still fought her to a standstill, and she barely eked out a victory, even just using his shield. So he's quite impressive as a combatant. And then, of course, they announce Owen's name, and Owen is sort of like push-dragged up onto the stage. Once you're all up there, Alvinius says, 3 to choose from this year. Is this correct? And the crowd, Alvinius is really good at sort of working this crowd the way that he wants. Ezra, Gelidus, Dirk, I need you to make me a roll, please. I just want you to roll me a d20, just as it is.
Five.
12.
A 5, a 2, and a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alvinius continues. So basically, as Alvinius is sort of working the crowd, the first thing he does is ask each of the contestants to say something about why they think they should be the best loser this year. Cywus goes first. She's like, I probably shouldn't be. It should probably be someone else. I'll be back. You don't have to. I really love this place, and this place, it's been so much fun. And she kind of like drunkenly rambles for a minute. And then there's like lots of cheering. It's like, yeah. Then they ask Vel Tetricus why they think he should be the best loser, and he basically responds with, "I am not a loser. This is a stupid question. I am not the best loser or the worst loser. I have lost this once."
Yeesh.
I yell, loser.
There's a sort of charm to the way that he's so grumpy, and he clearly has some friends in the crowd who are sort of egging him on. Then they get to Owen, and Alvinius says, "Owen, why should you be this year's best loser?"
I got drunk last night and I woke up this morning in a goat stall with a ring on my finger. Worst thing is the farmer approves the match. I have to find out what her weight is in chickens.
As a dowry?
Yeah,
Make me a charisma roll.
just straight up charisma. Persuasion.
Yeah. Give me persuasion.
Performance.
One or the other.
Well, it's a difference of 4, so I guess performance.
Performance it is.
No, I got a 6. Apparently I can't roll anything tonight, so
There's a semi-awkward silence that follows. Yeah. And someone's like,
yeah, if that doesn't go over, it doesn't go over.
no. Yeah. Then someone from the crowd yells, "See? They're all losers." And there's like a big round of applause. Alvinius then sort of turns to the crowd and says, "So, who shall it be? Shall it be Cyrus?" And basically he's just measuring the sort of ferocity with which the crowd is screaming. Whoever makes the most noise, apparently, is going to be this year's best loser. There's a lot of people are stomping their feet on the ground, people are banging things together, people are screaming. As it gets around to Owen, is anyone gonna?
Yeah. I go ape shit.
Yeah. Make all
Well,
kinds of
no.
crazy noise.
Performance checks, I assume.
Anybody have prestidigitation?
I do. I'm using it to make myself loud.
Nice.
No, wait. Hold on. I can do.
Roll me a
I can do a
d20,
thing.
Ezra.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be the one, isn't it?
God, I hope so.
15.
No, you're fine.
I do dragon fear. So instead of my breath weapon,
Everyone's just gonna
I
be really scared of you.
yeah. I roar really, really loudly. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. All right. It's enough between the sparked voice of the mighty Ezra and the roar of Dirk. The eventually Alvinius holds up his hands and everyone stops cheering. Ladies and gentlefolk, boys and girls, celebrants of all ages, people of Drunel Hall, and of the Empire, and of the Fae, and of the Wild, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you this year's best loser, Owen Barclay, And there's like another round of cheering, and he grabs your wrist, Owen, and holds it up in the air. And then there's a chant of like speech, 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 speech.
Friends, neighbors, lend me your chickens. I'm gonna need them. Though I have not been here long, I have grown to love this city as if it were my own.
Oh god. Oh yeah. Fuck.
Everyone can roll perception.
$21.
18.
21.
21.
18.
12.
Everyone but Jana
Dies.
Everyone but Jana dies. There it is. She's done it. She's killed the
We saw
entire
our
party.
own deaths.
Everyone but Jana hears a low rumbling.
Who fed
Bad
Zerwin
sign.
after midnight?
No, Jesus.
You guys hear that?
That was not me.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
Where does the rumbling seem to be coming from?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's getting louder.
It's getting louder. Get ready, folks.
It seems to have come from everywhere at once.
I got a
Is
bad
it
feeling
getting
about
loud
this.
enough that even Jana can hear it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. Jana, you hear that?
I pull my axe out.
Just then, just as Alvinius puts down Owen's hand and turns once again to address the crowd, the entire stage and everything, like all of the wood and scaffolding, all of the stage itself basically explodes as a
Jeez.
massive...
I'm on that stage.
Oh, yes. I'll get to you in a second. As a massive head of a giant, blackened, corrupted worm bursts out of the earth and like turns to face the crowd. It's not quite dune sandworm size, but it's enormous. And it's dripping and like spewing this black ichor. And it's making this high-pitched shrieking noise that just really pierces directly into your skull. And there is immediately, obviously, a lot of things happen. First of all, Owen, I would like you to make me a saving throw.
What type of saving throw shall I make?
Charisma. See if you can sweet talk this fucking worm.
Hey, honey, have you ever been with a man and a goat before?
You probably ought to clear
At the
that.
same time.
baby?
You might want to clear that with your wife first. Owen. I don't.
She's a nag.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. Is there a way to remove Owen from the Discord forever?
Can I burn
You
that
should
from
go
my
a step
memory?
further and just kill me in real life. Yeah.
I stab Owen in the heart.
I stabbed Kyle through Owen.
This is a great question. I kind of want you to do two things. I want you to do an athletics check to see how you land.
Nat 1.
He doesn't
It's
land.
okay. I don't land.
I know-
Maybe I've been swallowed.
I think this is disease, is what this is going to go under.
Jesus.
So, in what do you mean disease?
So this this black ichor that's spilling forth from this
Mhm.
thing is sort of like an infernal disease, basically.
Okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Bill, but I am immune to disease.
Oh yeah, you're a paladin.
I am.
You're good then. Your saving throw has passed.
Though my athletics check. Can I take bludgeoning damage or something?
Oh yes, you're going to take some falling damage. It's 6. It's not that bad. But you are also unable to act this next round because of how badly you fall.
That's fine.
You fall in such a way that you are tangled with a bunch of the wood. Everyone can roll me an initiative roll. However, I also need another perception roll from everyone.
11
15 on
the
initiative.
initiative.
And 28 on perception.
18 perception.
18 perception and 20 initiative.
20 perception and 17 initiative.
19%.
Okay, everyone perceives this well. This giant worm is going for Alvinius. Directly for him. And he is on the ground right next to Owen. Let's take a quick break right now. You're all, and I'm just to give you, you're going to have a limited action time here. This is going to go fast. This isn't a full-fledged, like, knockdown, drag-out combat. This is going to happen quick. Think about what you want to do. So you win. Definitely you win. Absolutely winning.
That's what I heard.
In the meantime, I will actually do the dice raffle right now. Can everyone on stream hear me right now? I hope so, because right now is when we're going to do the raffle. If you want to be in the dice raffle, type dice in chat right now so I know that you're part of this raffle. And this week it looks like we have... I know Foxy Proxy wants to be in this raffle. This week it looks like there's some... I mean, there's all these different sets here. Which one should we take out and give away? How about this set? Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is, while you wait for more people than just Foxy Proxy to enter the dice raffle, Foxy Proxy only tunes in every week for the dice. Yeah, the Dice Goblin. There it is. Here's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to start right now with the scavenger hunt. I'm going to put these questions in. The Discord.
Mm. Oh, that's a good throw.
Okay, we have Panzerbjorn Soup and Real Foxy Proxy. Is that it? Only 2 people in the dice chat? The dice raffle? Also, I just put up the scavenger hunt details in Discord. Pretty simple stuff. Lots of prizes. I have 6 prizes to give away for this raffle hunt.
Oh, dude,
scavenger hunt.
Way underthrew him.
Okay, it looks like just 2 people, so Foxy Proxy and Panzerborn, you're both here, ready for this raffle? I'm gonna roll a dice. Anybody else? Last chance. Anybody else want to enter this dice raffle? Okay. Oh, I just dropped 2 of them. I'm gonna make Real Foxy Proxy 1, 2, and 3, and I'm gonna make Panzerborn 4, 5, and 6, and I'm gonna roll a 6-sided die right now from this die set. It's a 1. The Dice Goblin strikes again, everyone. There'll be plenty of time to win. I've got plenty more prizes. Also, everyone can enter the scavenger hunt and pretty much be guaranteed a prize for relatively light work. All right. Back to our intrepid adventurers. Um, let's wait just another second. I think that probably everyone is going to be affected by this black ichor.
Well, what's it do?
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Is it? You said it's disease or is it poison?
He said it was disease,
Disease.
some kind of demonic syphilis.
All right. Who was first in the initiative order?
Me.
What would you like to do, Zerwin Grumpleforged?
I will rage, and while I rage, I yell, "Save the beer!" as loud as I can. And then I am. How close am I to it?
Yeah, probably 20 feet, maybe less.
Right.
You're probably
So
up
I
close, actually.
Yeah, so I will go up and I will attack with my axe of dwarvish lords.
So this thing is enormous. So you just want to run up to its body and slice it with your axe?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see your roll.
15.
15 will hit.
Kill it.
Wait, is that correct? No, it will not hit. Sorry. I lied.
Okay, then
You-
I will attack
You
again.
need a 17 to hit.
Okay. I will attack again. So an 18 will hit.
An 18 will hit.
And I get, let's see here. I do 10 damage. I'm going to action surge and attack again. 25 will hit. Oh wait, I get to re-roll those damage dice because I rolled a 1.
Who's next in the initiative order? Be ready.
I rolled another 1. All right, so there I get 5 plus, so 7 damage, and I get 1 more attack for a 16, which does not hit. Okay, I'm done.
Zerwin barrels forward, screaming, "Save the beer!" Swings with his axe and slices 2 deep gouges into the side of this gargantuan worm. Now you should make me a Constitution saving throw, Zerwin. As black ichor pours out, like sort of squirts out in your face. Who's next?
Yes. A 15 on that saving throw.
Okay. Who's next?
I think Galladus was 17. Am I right about that?
Yeah, it is 17.
Yep.
Is it dark out? I'm assuming it is.
Yes.
Okay. So I will use Steps of the Night. So that I
Is
can
that a
fly.
one-time thing, like once per long rest? No, you get like 4
No.
uses of it, right?
Four per long rest.
Okay, yeah, you're fine then, because you did use it once in the last combat. You don't know that, but you did.
Okay. So that'll be my bonus action. So I
I
can
can
go
tell
fly.
you the spell slots that you used in that also if you want to cross them off real quick. Sorry, now I'm the one causing problems. Just do your thing and I'll tell you when I find it.
Okay. And I will cast Spirit Guardians at
Yeah,
level
you used
4.
2 level 2, you used 1 level 2 slot and 2 level 4 slots, as well as Eyes of Night and the flight feature once.
Okay. And I'll tell Spirit Guardians to only hurt the worm.
Need you to roll me a d20 twice. Just a generic d20. Tell me what it is.
It's a d20.
You need to
Thank
roll
you.
twice, right?
Yep.
An 11 and a 15.
Okay. Your flight spell feels wobbly when you take off on it. It works, but kind of funkily. Your Spirit Guardians takes off without a hitch.
All right. And then I'll move so that I'm in range of the Spirit Guardians and the worm.
Okay. Who's next?
I think Dirk
It's
was
me.
15. Jana, I don't know if I got yours.
She rolled a 7.
Jana 7, got it.
So as far as I know, I'm still on the roof. Do I have access to attacking this thing from the roof? Can
No.
I jump and?
If you're on the roof, you're way, way back in town. I'd assume that you'd gone with everyone when the parade continued.
Oh, sorry, no. Then I'm definitely with everybody. So then planar warrior, and that is increased damage, and I'm going to attack it with a battle axe. And that is a 15.
Miss.
I'm going to attack again. This is a 14. All right,
Miss.
so it's a giant worm and I can't hit it with an
Well,
axe.
No,
How
no.
much
You run up and you smash this thing with your axe, but its hide is like super thick, and you're not getting good leverage with the sand beneath your feet in the arena, and so it's
Okay,
not
so I
piercing
turn
side.
around and I go, "You guys, its hide is super thick."
how much space is between the worm and Alvinius and Owen?
Not much. Couple feet. It's right on top
Couple
of them.
feet. All right.
Remember, if you need to target something with fireball, you can do it higher.
I would prefer not to use the AoE on the one thing.
On the one
but
thing, yeah.
Thanks for. I mean, if we can waste time talking about strategy if you want, though.
I don't know. It's fine.
Oh, I'm next. All right. Ezra is going to. Okay. Ezra's going to cast. He's going to quicken a spell and cast Tasha's Mind Whip on the worm. So the worm needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
Nat 20, which was pretty much their
Wow.
only chance.
Yeah, that sucks.
Wow.
They take 6 points of damage and nothing bad happens. And then that was with my bonus action because I quickened it. And with my regular action, I'm going to try to hit it with a Sorcerous Burst.
Need you to roll me a generic d20.
You want me to do that twice because it's 2 spells?
I do.
Okay, I rolled a 20 on the attack, a dirty 20. The first wild magic is a 4. And the second one is an 8.
So the Mind Whip.
Yeah.
Read to me its effects again.
On a failed save, the target takes 3d6 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. Only one. On a successful save, it only takes half the damage and no negative effects.
Yeah. You don't get a second action this round. You take your bonus action, you cast Mind Whip. As soon as the Mind Whip goes off, you start uncontrollably vomiting.
Great.
Jenna?
Can I get
It's Owen next.
I don't get a turn.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna give Owen a special thing. But yeah, he doesn't get a regular action.
Yeah, demonic syphilis.
That does sound special.
It is certainly special. Jenna?
can I get to Alvinius to drag him away? Or
You can try. It's gonna be tough. They're sort of twisted up in this like the wreckage of the stage, basically. Owen and Alvinius are sort of like right next to each other, and there's like lumber around them. But nothing's on fire, so I guess count your
You should
blessings.
set it on fire.
so I can
You could definitely get to them.
I could get to them and then I can attack, but I couldn't help them, right? I could either help them or attack.
You can try to help one or the other of them when you get there.
Okay. I will try to help Alvinius.
Would you like to try to pick him up or pull something off him?
I'd like to try to pull I'm going to try to pull something off him so he can move.
Okay, make a strength roll.
Damn. Five.
The timbers are too heavy.
Okay.
Good news is now you're standing over him, and that means the worm is also now coming for you.
Yeah.
Owen, you don't get a real action this turn, but I'm going to allow you to either like reach over and like you could pull Alvinius closer to you because you're both sort of underneath the same pieces, or you could try to push him out the other side.
I'm going to pull him closer to me.
Okay. The giant worm head raising above the ground, like spewing this ichor, once again shrieks. Half the people in the crowd fall to the ground holding their ears when this shriek hits, and then it just completely swallows Owen and Alvinius whole. Gianna, I need you to make me a dexterity save.
20.
You leap backwards as this thing skims the bottom of your souls.
Cool.
All right. It then turns and dives back into the hole from whence it came. Owen, you are...
Blinded and restrained.
Yeah. That's correct.
I know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
How much acid damage do I take?
You're not taking any because it's not a normal sort of sandworm. It's
Oh, okay.
it's spewing infernal ichor, but you're immune to it. You can hear Alvinius is not doing well. Everyone that's on the outside sees that another thing that's happened is that Galacta has leapt onto the head of this thing and has dug his claws into, and like all of his claws, and is riding this worm as it dives back down to this hole. Okay, everyone outside. The good news is this hole is large. There is no way for it to like cover up its tracks. You can immediately follow if you'd like.
Oh yeah, I just dive right in, crotch first.
Oh, god damn it, he did the god. I jump in after him.
Yep.
They call it the flying squirrel.
Ezra?
Yeah, so how close can I get without taking the dash action?
I don't know that you necessarily need to use the dash action. The problem is you're still vomiting.
Oh. That's just gonna happen? So what am I allowed to do?
Move.
Ezra dives into the hole. Do I get an action or no?
No, our actions right now are all follow.
Okay. Yeah. If I can't cast any spells, I'll just follow.
The hole that it dives back into goes straight down for a little bit, but then like curves. This thing is quite fast in its own hole.
Aren't we all?
We're done with phrasing apparently. Totally.
Hold on, I'm just gonna go into the quotes page real quick.
Oh boy. Yep, I gave myself a softball there. However, it eventually comes to a point where everyone's going to chase this thing, right? It's going down this tunnel. It's going to get to a point where the tunnel behind it has collapsed. And then it's going to spit Owen and Alvinius out and start to redig. And the question is, how close do you get before that happens? So, Ezra, you stop vomiting the next round. Everybody can then decide if they want a full sprint after this thing, or if they'd like to take an action in this follow.
Full sprint.
Serwin, you're technically still raging for another round before your rage calls off.
But I'm not going to get there in time to be able to attack, right? What if I threw something? Could I throw something?
You could throw a javelin that counts as an attack.
Yeah, I will. I will throw a javelin.
Okay.
Just remember, if you fumble, it's going to hit me somehow.
Yeah, no, that's the
Risk we're willing to take.
All right, I will.
So
I'll move as close as I can. I'll do my full movement and then 15.
It's all right. Don't worry about the damage and stuff. Just everybody tell me what your plan is. Jana's full sprinting. Serwin's sprinting and then throwing a javelin. Gelidus, you're still flying.
If we don't sprint, we're not going to get there, right?
So this is going to be a couple of rounds. It doesn't. It's moving. So this thing, when it's in its tunnel, is moving at twice your speed. But it's going to be 3 rounds before it stops and spits Owen out.
All right, I guess I'll cancel my flight because I can't sprint while flying. And I will full sprint.
Okay, Dirk.
Full sprint.
Okay, Ezra.
You said I can't take an action until after this round, correct?
That's all you can do is move this round. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving as fast as I can without taking the dash action.
Okay. You guys going to basically repeat that next round, or does everyone do something different next round?
Because I'll have an action again, I am going to do something different, but I'm not quite sure what yet, so other people should go first if
So
possible.
how long? How many rounds is it going to take me if I have to run and throw? How long is it going to take me to get there?
It will take you 1 round longer than everybody else who's full sprinting.
Okay. I mean, I have to do the same thing. So yeah, I'll have to keep sprinting.
Keep sprinting.
Okay, Ezra.
I want to cast a spell, but I don't think I can cast it ahead of the creature. Also, does it have eyes? Like, did we see eyes on it?
Not really.
Not really.
You
Okay.
definitely didn't see eyes. You don't know if any of the bumps or wrinkles are eyes or some sort of visual appendage.
Ezra will sprint, and he will. I think I'll just sprint. I don't think I'm going to waste a spell slot right now.
Okay. Here's what I need everyone to do. When you all catch up, it's going to turn around and swallow all of you. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to check in your inventories. At least one of you, and I'm pretty sure 2 of you, at some point had an opportunity to pick up a small wooden coin with a tree on it. I think Gelidus still has one. And I think another one of you got one also. This is why it's important to write down the things that I say you get. The only one that doesn't grab, by the way, is Zerwin.
I'm pretty sure I have one.
I'm almost positive you do.
I mean, you do now.
It's true.
I remember we talked about it. I haven't written it down, but I remember we talked about it.
Anybody else have one? There was 2 of them. You might not have picked up the other one.
I thought, did Bundo give one to Dirk?
Bundo gave one to someone, and I can't remember who it was. And then Geldis found one in his pocket.
Yeah, but then the one that was in Gelidus's pocket was later mysteriously missing.
Because Bundo had it, and then he gave it back to Gelidus.
Okay,
Yes.
so Gelidus has it. Gelidus has one, and that's probably it.
Okay. Gelidus, as soon as you're swallowed by this thing, that coin starts speaking a language that you can't understand, and only you can hear. And then that terrible, terrible shriek that thing was making. By the way, Zerwin, that thing swallows all your friends and turns and starts moving again, and you're like, well, fuck me. I'm going to lose all my friends.
Did I get re-swallowed?
Yes.
Is it digging or is it traveling at this point?
It's turning like it's going to move, but then just bear with me for a second. The coin starts speaking like first whispering in language you can understand, and then like talking in language you can understand, and then screaming, full out like bloodthirsty end of life screaming, and then everyone gets burned into their minds the image of a giant tree, and the worm ceases to be. And I don't know how to explain this any other way than this. 1 minute, you're swallowed, which means you're blinded and restrained, and you're in pain. And the next minute, you're all just dropped to the ground, as if this thing poofed into nothingness.
Ew, it poofed.
There's no sign of it. The bloody or the black ichor that it was spewing is gone. There's nothing left.
I'm dumping 13 points of healing into Alvinius as soon as I have a chance.
Good call. Let's see, how much damage did he take?
Is
He
the
only-
coin going?
He only took 30 damage, so yeah, he did well. And
Is Glocta? Can we see Glocta?
yes, Glocta is now there with you also.
Okay. Is he look like that's enough, or do I need to cast more healing?
No, he looks much better. He's still a little dinged up, but he's much better. The black ichor had a much worse effect on him than it did you.
Well, it had no effect on me.
Yes. That's Glocta, in case you forgot what he looked like. Glocta also immediately runs over. And you hear, like, you think he's trying to speak. Actually, the only person that's close enough is Owen. But he has, like, a high-pitched, lispy voice. It sounds really painful for him to speak.
Because he's missing teeth.
Well, he's got a beak, buddy.
Okay.
Gellis, what did you ask me?
Did the coin disappear as well?
It did not. In fact, it's hot now to touch.
That's hot.
To touch.
To
Zerwin, make me a, I don't know, intelligence or wisdom roll.
I'd rather not.
One or the other. You decide.
Like
You
a
got it, baby.
perception. Is perception all right, or is that not what
No,
you want?
it's gonna be pure.
Oh,
You're just gonna roll me
Well,
a
then-
d20 and add either your wisdom or your.
raw brain instinct.
Yeah, it's
All right.
memory. It's a memory check.
I got a 7.
Okay. So here you
14 beers ago, he remembered this.
Yeah. Before exactly. You're like, I'm pretty sure I should remember something about this. Oh well. You're all laid out on this cavern floor.
Is everyone all right?
What's
Do they need healing?
I'm cool.
I think I'm
Cool.
okay.
There's a worm here.
Yeah, I was in it.
I thought I was in it.
Oh, were you? I was confused.
We were in it at one point.
Does anyone have any idea what that was?
Where'd it go?
It was a worm.
This coin did something. The wooden coin with the tree.
The what with the what?
The wooden coin with the tree.
The one you
was-
had in
Yeah.
your pocket?
Yeah, obviously it was in my pocket for a reason.
I mean,
What
right.
did it do?
Obviously.
I see what I've done now, and I take everything back. You're all dead.
Confirmation
At
bias.
this point, it's like what? It's got to be like 1 a.m., right?
Yeah, probably.
Listen, can
We're
we all
hammered.
go home and go to bed? We have a fight to go. Jana's got a fight in like 5 hours.
Wait, Jenna's gonna fight. I was just inside a worm.
Wait, Alvinius, did you know what that was? Have you ever seen something like that before?
No.
I was just inside a worm. I was just inside. I don't know what to do with my skin.
Your scales.
Yep. That. I don't know what to do with it. Do you guys still have scales?
do.
No, I don't.
Me neither.
Well, that was fucked up.
Do you think it had something to do with that time that Zerwin put his head through a drum?
That just happened.
Yeah, wasn't that like 2 hours ago?
I was just exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It would have ended up with one of us, but someone had butterfingers.
Yeah.
Is there?
Uh,
There's not more path that we could follow, right?
No.
Yeah. So, does any
Glocta
of
seems
us
to be making like motions to get up and move back.
go back the way we came,
I
Glocta?
do so.
Let's get out of here before this whole tunnel collapses.
tunnel. Yeah, okay. I just. Because
I make sure that everyone is leaving, and I'll leave last.
When you get back to the hole that it sprung out of, probably just as Owen crawls out, it collapses behind you.
oh, jeez. Jeez.
There are people who are sick and vomiting, hundreds of them all over. There are people who have been wounded. There are people who were attacking the worm thing as it came out. There were combatants here, obviously. Um, you know, Mace guy, Vel Tetricus, took a huge beam to the side of his head when he tried to dive in. Cywus Norfear had fired off a couple arrows and was quite drunk and missed. The only other thing you notice is that I'm not sure if you all remember L. You guys remember L?
Yeah.
L was the little kind of. I don't know if L was actually Fey, but used the darkness spell during the first round of the mage competition.
Yeah, that L. L is like, I'm not sure how many people know what this means. Like, would your characters know what this is? Probably Owen and Gelidus at the very least. Probably Dirk, maybe too. Like, L is having a seizure on the ground.
Medicine check.
Yeah, so his body's having some sort of reaction to what just happened, and you're not sure why. Ezra, you might know why.
I might know why. But do I need to make a check or?
I mean, just think about what happened to you.
Oh, it's probably wild magic. L probably tried to cast a spell, and the wild magic surged and kind of backfired.
Can you fix it?
Healing might work. It might be something that we just need to let pass.
What about a dispel magic?
That might do it.
I'm out.
So L is
I
L is having a seizure. After a couple of minutes, they wake up, sort of. Their body stops convulsing, and they like sort of pick themselves shakily up off the ground.
Are you all right? Hey?
No, no, I feel awful. I feel like I'm gonna die.
Dude, welcome
I'll
to life.
cast Cure Wounds on L.
It does look like L has bumped their head and is bleeding a little bit from the temple during their seizures.
10 hit points are back.
That does it. But then they sort of sit down on the ground and like put their heads. What is wrong with the magic? I can't use the magic. I hate it
Well,
here.
yeah. Yeah, I'm beginning to hate it here too.
I think we all
Yeah, we
just
don't-
need a nice long rest.
The town guard has now shown up, as well as some of the Imperial Guard, and they're sort of carting people off. The clerics who normally worked the tournament, luckily right now there are literally scores of healing clerics in this city, whose only job it is to heal all the contestants. But there's probably 100, maybe 80 to 100 of them who are just around to work the tournament. They're being woken up to come heal people, and they are slowly doing so.
Part of
Well,
the
that's
city's
good.
stay and pray like program.
Thoughts and prayers.
I'm
Well-
going to help where I can, lifting people up and bringing them to carts.
Yeah. Yeah, the halfling's going to help with that too. Halfling's going to be very helpful.
Okay. The cleanup goes. There's plenty of hands. It goes pretty quickly. People are just more than willing to help. Despite like the sort of large amounts of trauma, there were 0 fatalities, and most of the things that seem to be happening were our people are contracting some sort of illness from this ichor that had spilled on them that hasn't quite been completely solved yet by all the clerics. But other than that, everything was cuts and bruises and sort of bad reactions. So no one's in danger of dying. Somewhere around probably 2 in the morning, everything's cleaned up.
Ezra is going to go over to Glocta and pull out some parchment and a little ink and say, are there things that you need to communicate to us right now?
Alvinius is actually, during this whole cleanup, he's coordinating and he's pitching in where he can. So Glock is doing that with him. If you go up to them as things are sort of wrapping up, Glockta will. Right, I don't know. I don't have any answers.
Okay. And someone's going to have to make some decisions tomorrow morning, huh?
Where is Skip?
Yeah, has anyone got eyes on Skip?
You do not.
Not since I gave him that 200 gold.
Oh yeah, Geldis, you have 200 more gold now. I'm not even kidding.
Any official representatives from the Empire?
I mean,
Here?
technically, Alvinius is the host of the games, but there
Okay,
are
but the Emperor didn't get up and come over or anything like that.
the Emperor did not. Otho is not there.
Okay.
You don't see Skip.
Maybe Skip went to go meet with the Emperor, talk through what's going on.
Alvinius says, I know that he had a breakthrough right before he came to the parade. He finished the maps, which he left for you, which I handily posted in the players only channel, I think. But he also had some other sort of breakthrough that I didn't get to know because I came to do this. He said he'd be right behind me. You said he would explain later.
Ignore the name. Oh, the Barrow of Shiva the Destroyer. Yeah, okay. Guys, don't pay attention to the name I just
Thanks
said.
for ignoring it, Duncan. Super helpful.
Listen, I've always been a fool. Always. Anyway, let's all go to bed. We'll find out more in the morning. No, let's go find Skip.
Where are you gonna look?
At the Emperor's house.
You can't get to the Emperor's house. It's cordoned off by soldiers, Praetorian
What
Guard.
about the greatest loser? Can he get into the?
The
What if
Greatest
he has a bunch
Loser,
of loser friends?
it's like the People's Choice Award. The people love it, and the Emperor doesn't give a shit.
So it's like I'm the sexiest man alive, but only from like 1995 at this point.
You didn't see a lot of nobility voting in this parade. It was a lot of the common folk.
Let them eat cake. All right. Duncan, where should we go?
I mean, if we have no idea where to find Skip, we gotta
Long rest
call it a
then.
night. Let's go back to Chuckles's. Maybe Skip's there.
Okay. On the road back to Chuckles' house, as you get close, if you look on, I was just going to pull up Owlbear Rodeo. If you look on Owlbear Rodeo, there's a point where the road forks off to the right to go to Chuckles' house.
Right here? Yeah.
When you reach that point and you just start to head up that road a few yards, Gelidus, the coin starts whispering to you.
Still in that language I can't understand.
Yes, but yeah, you can definitely hear it.
Guys, we can't leave yet. We got to get the body back into Varys. Varys was going to leave. We needed to do that tonight.
Wait, do you guys hear this?
Yeah, Jana just said something.
No, not Jana.
Hear what?
You don't hear.
Now they can hear it, actually. When Gelidus points it out to you, you can all hear a very strange whispering. Does anyone here speak Fey?
I speak Sylvan.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Hold on.
I mean, I think, yeah, so it's the language of forest creatures, right? When I was researching the character, I thought Sylvan was the closest thing to like a Fey language.
It probably is in the books.
Are you a forest creature?
You
Am
talking to
I?
me or Ezra?
Yeah. I'm from there.
Ezra, this is some sort of ancient Fey language. But it's also now glowing. Are you gonna actually? I shouldn't say that. Gellis, you have to take it out if you're gonna see it. I apologize.
That's right. I probably would have taken it out when they were all questioning me.
So one part of it is glowing, and as you turn it, the part that glows turns like slides across the face. Does that make sense? So like it's a large wooden coin. I wish I had something that I could sort of show you.
So is it like a coaster?
It's not quite this big, right? It's probably half this big. But as you turn it, the glowing part moves from one part to the other. And if you turn it this way, it kind of moves. You can sort of make it move by turning it.
Can we make an Arcana check, a religion check, anything on it?
Oh my god, I have a piece of wood here. This is amazing. So it's just slightly smaller than this. Yeah, you can make any of those checks that you would like.
Natural 20, 26 on an Arcana.
6.
This is definitely some sort of magical reaction. And actually, why doesn't everyone make me perception checks on this as well?
I rolled a 1, but I'm lucky, so I get to re-roll it.
Hold on.
21.
I rolled
23.
a 6.
8.
15.
Sorry, who rolled above 20? Okay, Ezra and Dirk. This is moving like a reflection would on a coin, but this is not reflective, and you can't see the moon through the trees here. So what light is causing a reflection on a dull surface?
Boy.
Oh, should have paid attention in physics.
Wait, do you see that? Do you see how it's? You see it too? It's doing the when it does the. You see that?
Yeah. So there's some light reflecting on one side, right? What direction
Yeah.
is the light coming from?
Yeah, roughly that way.
All right.
And since you said that, Ezra, you notice that no matter how he turns the coin, it's always glowing in that particular direction.
Yeah. All right. So we gotta go get the body. Maybe let's hope that this is pointing to the body.
The light from over there.
Yeah, let's go that way.
You think that's pointing to the body?
Let's just go that way.
You just want to go the direction of the light.
I just, I'm gonna follow the thing that's the most in front of my face, and right now there's a literal wooden coin reflecting invisible light in front of my face. So, let's go.
Honestly, I respect that logic. Let's do it.
Well done. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the Owlbear Rodeo here. It's going to take you, you're going to have to scroll off the map, but
Nice.
essentially it's going to take you up here.
Yeah, baby.
And this is the top of a hill. This is all deep woods here. Old growth, super high canopy. And then you go up to the top of this hill, and there's like a little natural lee, or a little sort of natural field that forms on the top of this hill. And on the top of this hill is the largest white oak you have ever seen. It is easily 8 feet in diameter. It is truly enormous. And there, at the base of this tree, you see Akgung and Varys talking to each other over the corpse of Azadorel. As you approach, they both turn and look at you. Ak turns to Varys and says, "So we have a deal then?" Varys nods. "Have a good night." And then Ak walks by you all and bows slightly. "Thank you, friends." And then he turns and walks away. Varys waits for you to approach.
We do so.
"You have found the tree. This is the guardian tree. It is of me and my people in a way that you are all of your people, in a way that your great 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 grandparents led to you. This is the guardian tree. It is the guardian of the way between the realms. From here, you can go to the Fey Kingdoms, or the wild, or the empire. I must return home with my grandmother. I am not sure how you found this tree. Perhaps it called to you. But it is not always there. It is not always here. I do not know how to say what I mean, friends. It is not always. It is not always a tree. It is not a tree. It is a guardian and a way. I am sorry that my words have failed you.
What's the deal that you made with Ak?
I do not believe that I can tell you the details of his end of the deal, but I have promised to speak to my people on behalf of Ak and some other forces.
All right.
He picks his grandmother up tenderly in his arms, and a single tear rolls down his cheek.
What are you going to say on his behalf?
I will preach patience.
Vague.
To try to prevent the Fey kingdoms from going to war with the Publio Empire, most likely.
You are wise, friend Ezra. It is... War is a bad thing, I think. Bad for those who get caught up in it. Bad for business as far as Ak is concerned. I must go now and give my grandmother peace. He turns and starts walking towards the tree, and right before he gets to it, he turns around to all of you and says, "You are welcome in my kingdom, friends. Anytime. Thank you for helping me retrieve my grandmother's body." And then
Sure.
he turns and walks directly into the tree and is gone. And then you hear something coming up behind you. Assuming you turn and look, it's Skip.
Yeah.
It's Skip, and he's following another coin, just as you did. And just as he gets to you, and as the nighttime reveals him to you and you to him, there's a very slight sense of relief comes over the tremendous exhaustion that pulls at his face and his body, and he sort of collapses on the ground next to the tree, and he puts a hand out and just touches it. There are only 3 ways to the nightmare. There is the way of corruption. There are the planar keys. And there is the guardian tree.
And this is the Guardian Tree.
I must go in.
We're going with you.
I have to find Tiberius.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, we gotta go. All right, in there, into the.
Wait, you are in no shape to go in there this tired.
I will not let him suffer another minute in the hell that is the nightmare.
Right, but
He,
if you're useless in there, just gonna make it worse.
I'm fine. He
Yeah.
pulls himself to his feet. I'm fine.
What do you think, Zerwin? Maybe a sleeper hold? Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
No, we just gotta go in with you.
You don't have to come,
We do.
but I won't say no.
Of course we're coming.
We're big damn heroes. Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it. He turns and walks into the tree, and it swallows him whole.
Ow.
All right, marching order. We're gonna learn from our mistakes.
Squishy's up front.
Just real quick, none of us have spells.
Oh, I know.
I got enough.
I'm basically a fighter right now.
I'm basically a
spells.
fighter. We're gonna go into that thing. Okay, cool.
It's an adventure, Dirk.
Yeah,
It's an
Bill had
adventure.
us
Remember, we
do
just have to be
combat.
back in 5 hours.
Yeah, Bill had us do
Yeah.
combat 2 sessions in a row. There's not going to be anything to fight in there.
That's true. That's true. That's very, very true.
We're all
Gelidus
gonna
leads
make
the way.
beautiful corpses.
Gelidus is
We
in.
also, yeah, and Galladus
Yeah.
has his tiny hut. We'll go in. Once we're in there, we'll tiny hut.
I go in axe drawn.
Zerwin's in. Gelidus is in. Zerwin is in. They both disappear.
Ezra goes in.
Ezra disappears.
I'm going.
Jana disappears.
Gelidus and Owen set out on their own adventure. No, I'm kidding.
Dirk and Owen, you guys going in?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. Owen disappears.
Okay, I go into a tree.
Okay. I'm going to give you just a taste of this, and then we'll call it a night here. The nightmare. What happens when you walk through the tree is at first there is a split second where there is nothing, but it is an absolute nothing. You can't breathe, you can't see, you can't smell, you can't hear, you can't taste. There is like a sucking sensation at at your eyeballs and your mouth and your nose, and then you sort of come into this. First of all, the first thing you notice is that it's much colder. It's not quite frostbite cold, but it's uncomfortably cold and a little damp and very dark. Your dark sights, your collective dark sights, only work for about 10 feet in front of you. And if you have no dark sight at all, you can see almost nothing. There are some terrible sounds that happen kind of all at once. And you realize that where you are is maybe a bog or a marsh of some sort. The skeletal bones of dead trees sort of litter the near surroundings, and below your feet is solid ground, but it's mushy and not quite like fully solid. You can hear the sounds of moving water somewhere nearby, and maybe some sounds of amphibians or reptiles as they make their way through the murk and the glop and the other weird shit all around you. There is an overwhelming, pervasive sense of dread that falls on your shoulders and pulls at you from all sides. It is a terrible, terrible feeling. And worst of all, you don't see Skip in front of you until all of a sudden there is fire, and Skip has struck a torch, and you can see the light just in front of you as the fire sputters into existence. It seems so small and so weak, like it's going to be swallowed at any moment by all of the dark horribleness around you. but it does give you some tiny bit of light. You can see just enough now. Thank you for coming, he says. And he reaches out and he touches all of you on the shoulder. And everyone can level up to level 10. And that's where we'll call it tonight. I would like you all to give each other Danger Awesome points. Also, who in the crowd? Everyone in the crowd. Who should get the Danger Awesome point
it's my
tonight?
Danger Awesome point for getting swallowed by a worm and then riding in its gullet for a couple turns.
Well, thank you.
What player deserves
Mine
your
goes to
Danger
Ezra
Awesome
for
point?
making just enough noise and sneaking out of that building on a razor thin margin and not getting caught.
Thanks, man.
That was really close. It actually, yeah, that could have been pretty bad.
Guess I will give mine to Zerwin for the drum hat comedy. That was funny.
I'll give mine to Zerwin as well, because Zerwin was the most distracting thing during the time that we needed the distraction.
Mine goes to Ezra.
Thanks.
Ezra.
Oh, hey, thanks.
I think I am going to give it to Jana tonight because she's starting to come up with things that she remembers that everybody else forgets that are really important. Like, oh yeah, there's a body. The whole point of all this was a body, and we should probably do that. I think those reminders are going to be really important as the game continues, and I'm glad that someone is speaking up and giving them. But really, everyone did pretty good tonight. Good job, everybody. All right. I'm going to end the stream. So have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.